Nader Hashemi is director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Denver. He joins us now live via Skype. Good to have you with us again. So why did the Secretary General remove the coalition from this blacklist, do you think? What was going on behind the scenes? Was he pressured to do so?
Saudi blackmail was going on behind the scenes. I think that's exactly what happened. For people who are following this story, there is a very important parallel development that took place in 2016 when then UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon explicitly said that he came under severe pressure from Saudi Arabia to remove Saudi Arabia's name from the list of shame. And if they did not do that, Saudi Arabia would cut funding to various UN programs among the Palestinians, among the Yemenis, et cetera. So I think that's exactly what happened. And I think, this is a dark day for the United Nations. It's a dark day for human rights. And it's fundamentally a very dark day for the children of Yemen.
So why did the Secretary General not reject that pressure? I mean, he's the Secretary General of the United Nations, for goodness sake. I mean, was he thinking strategically, more sort of long term?
I think he was thinking actually very short term. I think he was put in a very difficult situation and he had to make a choice. You put Saudi Arabia's name on the list of shame for killing children in Yemen, where it deserves to be, and then risk millions of dollars being denied to the United Nations that goes to serve and protect and feed those very children, or do you publicly expose Saudi Arabia for its blackmail? So I think that's fundamentally the dilemma that the UN Secretary General was wrestling with, and he made the decision better to keep the Saudi money flowing to the UN to support, health clinics in Yemen, rather than have that money be denied and force more suffering on the poor and devastated people of Yemen. That's the fundamental dilemma.
So what message does this send? How does it undermine the work of the UN?
Well, it effectively puts the UN Secretary General and he's presenting himself effectively as a hypocrite. Just to cite one example, in February of this year, he released a very important document called Call to Human Rights, where he called on the international community to respect international humanitarian law, human rights law, to make human rights central in everything that the international community does. And here we have him doing the exact opposite, effectively acting as a public relations agent for the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia by shielding it from legitimate criticism. So I think what we're seeing here is a deep corruption of the United Nations, of the UN bureaucracy by powerful countries who are willing to wield their political muscle and blackmail the United Nations in order to get what they want from the international community. And I think this is, a huge setback for human rights, and it fundamentally bodes very ill for the reputation and the integrity of the United Nations as a whole.
Good to talk to you, so many thanks indeed. Nader Hashemi there in Denver.
Thanks.